Martin, let me just quickly ask you about this, because there's obviously, this is now a compulsory class. Should the argument as well be as, like Rebecca just said, you know, I woke up in the morning and he was having sex with me, should there not be a compulsory alcohol class that talks about how much you drink then? Because, you know, this is very much a two-way street.
Yeah, we absolutely do see a big sort of crossover between alcohol overindulgence and inappropriate sexual behaviour. You know, 'twas ever thus. You know, these are young people experimenting, you know, in a sexually charged environment. Now, crossing the line is a big issue. One sexual assault is one too many. We all agree this is a bad thing, but it's the right way to do this, to kind of, you know, horsewhip. We talk about the carrot and the stick. This is about as subtle as a kick in the cobblers to 18-year-old boys. They're being told to go, and if they don't go, they get fined 30 quid. I suspect we're going to see people paying that fine out of a matter of principle, which gets us nowhere. In fact, it takes us backwards, because we're going to see this kind of gender war on campus. We should be working together on sexual consent, not making it men v women, and that's what's happening here.
And you also don't believe that that statistic in The Guardian is possibly as high as it is?
The stats include sexual abuse of any kind, which can include unwanted touching, verbal abuse, you know, shouting, all of which, by the way, is revolting. But it's not serious violent sexual assault or rape. So we need to cross-examine these stats without underplaying them.
Yeah, I think it's not to say that having somebody touch you inappropriately in a club, which happens a lot at student nightclubs, is OK. It's obviously horrific, but I can see that it needs a different way of tackling from actual, more sort of physical sexual assaults.
So what's the answer then?
That's the thing. Nobody's come up with a better idea than these classes. OK, well, I'd like to hear that, because I don't know. But what I would say is that one of the things I would change is that the York one, and I don't want to be rude about it, I think it's an amazing initiative, it is all run by the women's officers, and I think it's easier for somebody to learn from somebody who they perceive to be like them, and maybe having some guys teaching, like the Good Lad movement at Oxford, which did amazing stuff, because boys look to them and go, he's like me, I'll listen to him.
They understand more. Well, York University have said the university has agreed to support the Students' Union's request to incorporate gender-neutral sexual consent briefings for all new students. The aim is to help raise awareness and help reduce the likelihood of harassment. Does that mean if you don't go, you are more likely to harass someone?
No, I mean, it's completely ephemeral, unprovable and unscientific. It sounds good, but I fear it achieves nothing. If we want to talk to these young men, we need somebody like them talking to them, and that is not a feminist women's officer. It causes an immediate shutdown on the debate, and that takes us backwards.
Can I just ask the both of you quickly, do you think if someone has got this mindset that they are going to go out and sexually abuse someone, go out and rape someone on a night out, do you think sitting in a classroom being told don't do that, they're not going to do it?
The majority of sexual assaults don't happen from somebody who is a rapist, who goes through the methodology of I'm going to rape. They happen when people who aren't necessarily bad people make mistakes. And the people who I saw at university committing sexual assault were guys who were educated, generally really nice guys, who had never been told certain things weren't OK. And the point of this is that it could stop ruining two people's lives. The woman, generally, who was sexually abused, and the guy who may have made an honest mistake from ruining his own life. So I think it's to protect the men as much as it is to protect the women.
The shorter answer is no. This won't, I believe, sort of stop rapes happening. We can't prove it anyway. I think we do need to have a conversation about sexual consent, but 5 years earlier, and in a more appropriate way. I mean, you know, on the continent, they start sort of age 6, 7, 8, and it works. You know, kids stay safer for longer, they have sex later, they have less pregnancies, less STDs, because we're so British about it. We're leaving it until we're 18, and then it kicks off like this. We should be dealing with it when these kids are younger and more responsive to it then.
OK, thank you. Thank you both very, very much.